Guys, today we're going to have a topic on the 3 pillars of Hi-Fi, according to Michael the Greek audio geek. And these 3 pillars are the foundation of everything that makes me smile about emotional connection with music. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff today. Guys, I'm Michael the Greek audio geek. I am actually filming this at the same time that I just filmed the previous video, which is why I still don't have on my Greek flag shirt. I am Greek, I'm 100% Greek. I'm clearly an audio geek. Look at all this beautiful stuff we're surrounded by. So I want to talk to you about the 3 pillars. And in my logo, you see I've got 3 tubes, obviously one with the Greek flag in it. That's self-explanatory. But why do I have 3 tubes? What do those 3 tubes? We're going to get all philosophical here, and we're going to start talking about theory and all that stuff, which is something most channels won't talk about. That's why I'm not most channels. The 3 pillars for me are very, very simple. These are the areas that I want to continue to focus on moving forward, that I think encompasses the 3 areas that I love the most, that I'm passionate most about. They are not limiting, they are not all-encompassing, meaning by that just because something may not fit into one of those 3 pillars does not mean I'm not going to talk about it on the channel, does not mean I'm not willing to try it. That's not what I'm saying. This is sort of my mission statement to you, my passion statement. Let's call it that. This is my passion statement to you. So creating something new in the business world. You know, in business school we learn about mission statements and this and that. Screw that. This is my passion statement as to the 3 areas that I like. Now, if you've been following me for a while, if you follow us on the my Facebook page and my Instagram and everything that I post and talk about, this should be no surprise to you. Number 1, I'm going to name the 3 of them up front, and then we'll cover them a little bit more in detail. Number 1, tubes. Guys, I got tubes in my logo. If you don't know tubes was going to be number 1, I can't help you. I'm talking about tube integrateds, tube monoblocks, tube DACs, like this Airy Surratt, like the Aquila Scala I had before it. Anything with tubes, I love. There is an emotional connection with tubes that I do not feel any solid state has ever let me reach. Now, disclaimer, for those you say, oh, Class D. Guys, I've heard lots of Class D. I've heard them at all price points. You can take your Class D and you can throw it out the window, okay? Actually, no. I'm going to say what I said in one of my other videos. Please actually buy Class D, because then that's going to leave more NOS tubes for me for my number 1 pillar of tubes. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, horns. Guys, are you shocked that it's horns? You shouldn't be. I go on and on and on in my videos how I love horn speakers. When you take pillar number 1, which is tubes, and pillar number 2, which is horn speakers, and you find a synergy, there is an emotional connection, a magic, a liveliness, and an overall impactfulness that I have never been able to accomplish with traditional design speakers. I am not saying anything bad about traditional design speakers. There are some very nice traditional design speakers. I love horns. So yes, I'm going to be covering other speakers in the future that are going to be really good. In fact, if you've seen my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of the Clarisys speakers. I think they're excellent. Problem with the Clarisys, not the problem, the design parameters of the Clarisys is they won't go along with 10 watt, 12 watt, 13 watt tubes, which I love, or 20 watt tubes. So that just is a little bit of a mismatch there. Not a problem. Horns. And number 3, this one I thought about because, you know, I started my videos years ago. I did tweaks on digital. I tried 16 different inexpensive switches. I tried inexpensive Ethernet cables. I've tried expensive switches. You know, we got an $8,000 Telegartner there. I've tried more switches and streamers than I can count. So I'm really big in the digital, but I didn't want it to be digital because I'm leaving my door open someday to do analog. Yeah, turntable. And I mean, a little known fact, guys, I'm so old that I actually had a record player when I was 8 years old. I actually had records, And that was the thing. And I remember growing up through the 45s and the singles and the cassettes and all that stuff. I am not old enough for 8-track, so don't go there. But I didn't want to say just digital, and I didn't want to say cables. I didn't want to say, so I decided number 3 is going to be tweaks. So in my mind, the new switch that we have from Network Acoustics, the graphite audio feet that we have right here, the graphite audio platform that we have here, the WellFloat platforms, the cables, the switches, those all for me, the stack audio that I have right here under my, my speakers, those for me are categorized as number 3 tweaks. So the 3 are tubes, horns, and tweaks. And you know, I said I was going to expand on them a little bit more in the beginning, but I actually think I've done a pretty good job of already expanding on them and explaining why. Those to me are really the areas that get me excited. We're going to hopefully have more new digital stuff coming that we're going to be trying. We've got different cables and more cables. I've got more tube stuff coming. I'm always happy to try solid state, but this also ties in with the previous video that I did where I'm focusing on lesser known companies that are producing phenomenal product, that are passionate about their hi-fi, that really are in the pursuit of great emotional sound. Those combined, that is kind of a subcategory of those 3, are really, I think, a recipe for success and something that gets me really excited. Stack Audio, small company made in the UK. It's like for their stuff for the gear is like $200 in-home trial. The Network Acoustics, made in the UK. They've got a variety of products for Ethernet streaming, things like that. We're talking about graphite audio, made in Poland. Okay, their amp board here and their feet are a little bit more expensive than the Stack Audio, but I actually sold vibration gear that I had that was twice their price because I felt as though the graphite audio was better than them at half the price. This is the stuff that I'm excited about. These are brands I don't think you hear a lot of people talking about that frankly, I'm not here as a click chaser. I'm not here to talk about the brands that everybody else talks about. I'm not here to make really wild videos where I compare inexpensive speaker cable against something that costs 100,000 times more or anything like that, or get paid $1,500 to walk into a room at a show and declare it best of show and pretend like I actually like the way it sounds. That's not how I operate. I am here solely based on passion and love. I'm only covering the stuff that I want to share with you, that moves me, that I think is interesting. And I hope that you find all of this hi-fi passion as well, because we got to bring in new people. And I really, for me guys, it's really, my number 1 mission is to make tubes and horns more popular. The more we bring tubes and horns back into this industry, I think it's better for the industry. So that's today's video. That's what I wanted to share with you. Leave down below in your comments below if you think that there should be a different pillar or something like that. Again, I am not saying I'm not going to review solid state. I'm not saying I'm not going to review some traditional speakers. I actually have some speakers planned to come that I'm very, very excited about that are not horns. I'm really excited about those. As I said, I love the Clarisys speakers. That's not a horn design. So there's great stuff out there. I'm just talking about, in general, 3 categories. Guys, thanks for watching. Please, please, please make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Guys, I'm the Greek Audio Geek, and I approve of this message. Opa!